Hey, it's Dr. Toby here. In this video, I want to answer the question whether or not you can still play golf after a total hip replacement or a hip surgery. It's going to be a very helpful question that's going to be answered, giving you some clinical experience and answers for how we've been able to help people understand what they're able to do after they've had a surgery and whether they can still play golf or not. And by the way, if you stay tuned to the end, I'll show you some of the exercises that we've used to help people even avoid having to get surgery in the first place and being able to get back to playing golf and doing that at 100% in spite of having total hip replacement or even having arthritis for which they didn't get hip replacements for. So let's jump right into this video. Now, important question for so many people when they're deciding whether or not they should get a surgery. Maybe they're an individual who's had hip pain for a very long time, arthritis, pain going up and down stairs, walking for long distances. Maybe you've tried pain medications, injections, and different things like that. And so now the question is, should I get a surgery? But the bigger question is, if I do get the surgery, will I still be able to play golf? And the answer is yes, but it depends. There are two kind of categories of individuals. There's the individuals who right after the surgery, the 2-week, 4-week, 6-week mark, for people who've gotten a hip surgery, like a hip replacement, during that period, you won't be able to play golf. In terms of being able to maintain the precautions that will prevent the hip surgery from being displaced or being compromised, you're going to be at a certain frame of capacity that will prevent you from being able to do certain activities, like being able to have certain types of rotation, especially with the type of procedure that you might get. You might get an anterior approach, lateral approach, posterior approach to how they go in and cut the hip open and place the artificial joint. That's going to determine whether or not you're able to play golf at a particular phase. And so in those early weeks, you won't be able to, but typically once you get to that 12, 24 week mark, things like that, there's a greater ability for you to be able to get back to some of the activities that you enjoy. Now, here's the caveat for a lot of people. Typically, when someone gets to the 12 week mark to that 24 week in between there, they're at a place where they're not only doing everyday activities more normally, but now they're trying to negotiate being able to do some of the stuff that they really love to do. Like they really want to get back to playing golf and doing the things that matter like that. But here's where it really depends on whether or not you'll be able to successfully get back to playing golf. Most of the time, people don't realize that when they get a hip surgery, the surgery is only addressing the issue of relieving the pain. It's not addressing the root factors or the root problems. And what that means is that when you find that a lot of times, and we found this where people, they get discharged from physical therapy, they were getting therapy with some traditional physical therapy company, like going to a clinic 2 or 3 times a week. What happens is they're finished with therapy. They're not really feeling pain with everyday activities like walking or standing or getting out of a car and stuff like that. But when it comes to doing more intense levels of physical activity, like being able to, swing heavier with the golf club or being able to walk longer distance or walk on inclinations or surfaces of different levels or variable surfaces, like walking on a golf course that has unlevel surfaces, uneven surfaces, they find difficulty doing that because they only really got treatment for the sake of relieving the pain, but not addressing the root problem. So arthritis and issues that lead people to get hip replacements are going to fall in 3 categories. It's going to fall under the category of the root problem being weakness in their body and in the muscles. It's going to fall in the category of wrong posture or movement patterns. And then it's also going to fall in the area of weight, excessive weight. And so a lot of times people will still find that after the surgery, the problem is, it's not that the pain is not really the issue anymore, but now the issue is that they still don't have the capacity to perform at their peak. And so they can't do things that they want to do, like walking for longer distance or standing on uneven surfaces and things of that nature. And that becomes really problematic for people. So that becomes the limiting factor for people who want to play golf. After their surgery, they're several weeks out, several months out, 6, 9 months. For some people, after that 6 to 9 month period of having like maybe rehab and things like that, they're still not able to play golf. And the reason why is because they have not addressed the root issue. And so some of the exercises I want to show you are going to help you to understand some of the root issues in terms of stability, stamina, endurance that are necessary for your muscles and for your body at a large. So let's jump right into this part. One of the biggest things that you have to start off with when it comes to being in a capacity where you can play golf, play 18 holes, do all the things you want to do, is you got to work on your stamina and stability. So there are a couple exercises that are going to be very helpful for us. One of the things that we want to be able to do is just build the endurance of our leg muscles, our quads, and our glutes. So starting off, if you're already at a place where you're fully, recovered from the surgical procedure, and now you're just trying to be able to succeed in daily activities, doing the things you love. One of the exercises I love to show people is doing this D2 or this lunge hold. This is one of the first things that you can start off with. A lunge hold is a great thing that you can do. And what you may want to do for people who have balance challenges or issues, right? You want to have some kind of surface that you can be able to hold on to or use for support in case you need to maintain your balance. But this is a good exercise to build muscular endurance in terms of our quads and in terms of our glutes and hamstrings. So holding that position for several periods, we can switch sides, holding that position like so, and being able to encourage stability and endurance at that hip area is going to be very important. Again, having some kind of surface, whether it's a chair or something there, is going to be essential or vital for you to be able to feel that level of comfort, as it relates to the balance piece. So that's one of the important exercises. Now, another exercise that's going to be very important for stamina stability is doing just a simple squat hold, right? Coming to this position and being able to hold. Now, again, for people who have balance challenges, one of the things that's going to be helpful here is having some kind of safety chair or support, depending on what your level of comfort is. But being here, holding this position is going to be very essential. And let me show you what that looks like if you're using a chair. And we're here, we want to hold this squat position. We're here, right? For people who may have balance, stability issues, right? One of the things that you'll realize is that if you still have issues with activities like this, you can't hold your body weight in this position, then what you'll realize is that even after the surgery, like I already mentioned, the surgery is not going to solve the root issues that led to arthritis or led to injury in the first place. And so if you find that your body has balance issues here in this position, or there's like weakness or knees giving out, what you're going to realize is that the surgery didn't solve the root problem. It was just meant to relieve the pain. And so the real thing that you have to realize is that if you're going to be able to play golf after a surgery, you got to address the root issue that the surgery didn't address. So that means we got to build strength here, right? And even after, sometimes people had physical therapy and they still have not addressed those root issues because all they were trying to do is rehab the hip so the person can do daily activities like walking, getting in and out their house, going up, down a few steps, things like that. But you got to build strength, and these exercises expose whether or not the actual surgery was, the only thing that needed to be addressed through the surgery was the pain being relieved, or if there were still root issues that needed to be addressed. So again, we hold this position, start off with like 3 seconds. You come up, squeeze your glutes, right? In this position here, come up, squeeze the glutes, right there, come up and squeeze the glutes, right? Increasing the duration of our hold as time goes on, as we get better and get more comfortable, is important. In this position, hold, right? 5 seconds, we progress it from 3 seconds to 5. Again, you can start off holding on to some surface to give you support, but you always want to make sure you squeeze those glutes because that's where you're going to be able to build that stability and endurance of the glute muscles that help to stabilize the hips, and so forth and so on. Now, for somebody who's having really a lot of difficulty, one of the things you can just start off by doing is powering through some sit to stands, squeezing those glutes up and down will make a very big difference, right? Show you from this side. One of the things you want to do is there, and being able to build that muscular endurance, building your stamina and your energy to be able to walk a golf course. Obviously you can use, golf carts, things of that nature, but that's going to be something that's very helpful for you. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Another great thing to practice for people who want to improve their endurance and their ability to play golf after hip surgery is being able to practice going up and down stairs, right? Going up that flight of stairs is going to help your body gain that leverage when it comes to walking up inclines or on surfaces of different levels, right? Unlevel surfaces, because that a lot of times can be the place where people lose their stamina and their endurance, or even start to feel pain and discomfort after going around the golf course with different surfaces, things like that. So easy home exercise, going up and down the stairs, can be very, very beneficial to make all the difference. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Give it a like and a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Leave a comment on what you benefited most from watching this video, and hit the subscribe button and stay connected to all the videos that we're making to help you stay healthy, pain-free, fit, and mobile, and build your confidence to live your best life. See you in the next video.